What is up, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. This is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining. As we celebrate 25 years of the Rated R Superstar Edge, let's get started with tonight's review of Friday Night Smackdown from Toronto, Canada. We opened up the show tonight with the Grayson Waller effect, hosting Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar of the LWO, trying to draw a wedge between the two, only to be interrupted by Austin Theory complaining about his idea of injustice last week, only to get interrupted again by the most popular man around right now, L.A. Knight. Yeah. So, after doing some altercation, they were talking right after Adam Pierce came out, and LA Knight had a great idea. Let's let these two face off to see who would become the number one contender for the US Championship. While The Miz comes to ringside and mentions Eugene and crayons for whatever reason. But then during the match, and due to the distraction of The Miz, Austin Theory was able to defeat LA Knight. For the first time in a bit of a while now, LA Knight suffers defeat. But he will bounce back, believe that. Then we have Damage Control with Dakota Kai facing off against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Now, even though they are somewhat rivals, this is one of the scenarios where rivals make good tag team. The other scenario where rivals are good tag partners would be Batista and The Undertaker back in the day, because even though they were rivals, they actually worked real well together as a tag team for a little bit. Now, getting into this match, I don't know what it is about Bayley, but every time she goes to an international country, she gets that song, Bayley. Ooh, I wanna know, will you be my girl? She gets that everywhere except America. And I guess it's one of those scenarios like when Bret Hart was heel in 1997, he was booed all across the United States. But when he went overseas or to Canada, his home country, Calgary, Alberta is his home. But when he went anywhere else besides America, he got a lot of cheers. And I guess that's the scenario with Bayley. I don't know, just an idea. Not comparing her to the legendary Bret Hart, just a thought. Now, moving forward, the match was pretty good. First of all, I would love to see Michael Cole prank Bayley with their Shotzi thing. April Fools in August. That would be funny. Nonetheless, the match was pretty good. Also, Bayley, for those of you who are new, Bayley likes Michael Cole. It's like Helga from Hey Arnold, for those of you who are new to the channel. And also, nonetheless, despite all of that, Charlotte and Bianca worked well together and got the victory with the combination of the boot and the kiss of death to Bayley. Obviously, Bayley didn't take it well as they ambushed Bianca backstage and smashed her left leg with a chair. The leg that was injured at the SummerSlam event. And she fought through it, by the way. Now, let's get to the Street Profits versus the OC. I can't tell if the Street Profits are really heel, but I do know that they are more aggressive than they were before. We still see Montez Ford flying high, doing amazing sentons and flying from the heavens with the frog splash, being one of the masters of the frog splash besides Eddie and RVD. However, it was a spine buster combined with the neck-breaking reverse RKO, if you would call it that. LA Knight does the same move, the reverse RKO. But it was that finisher that would win the match, and Bobby Lashley came out very pleased. And I'm very interested to see where this team or this trio goes. with Lashley and the Street Profits. Very interested in that. Paul Heyman was interviewed tonight by his girlfriend crush, Kayla Braxton, and I must say this: the what Paul Heyman was just he's a good heel. He's one of the good heels. He was very foul. Anyone who knows Kayla Braxton knows that her original mother knows her story, knows that her original mother was taken from her due to some personal issues. I don't know if drugs were in the midst, but Paul Heyman was very foul tonight. Going into Kayla's past like that, that was just, oh my goodness. That was just very, very just foul. For her to do that, for Paul Heyman to do that was just cold, man. That was just cold. But nonetheless, we got, and Kayla holding her patience like that was very applaudable. Very applaudable. And I guess it's one of those scenarios where he's mean to her because he likes her. Just like Bailey is mean to Cole because he likes Cole. They say if they're mean to you, they're either jealous of you or they like you. But I think Paul likes just showed how much he likes Kayla by being mean to her. But in any event, inside scoop, spoiler alert, Jimmy Uso to show up next week. Question is, will Roman Reigns be there also? I don't know. But I do know one thing. The main event tonight was awesome. We saw Sheamus versus Edge with Edge's family and friends present. We saw the crowd singing Edge's theme song. We saw Edge was very competitive tonight. Lots of highlights. We saw a launching elbow from the second rope, followed by a power bomb and a cross body. But Sheamus wasn't without his attempts and his offense as well. He attempted to do the 10 beats, but got 10 strikes by Edge as well. And we saw Edge go for a spear, much liking into what Biggie Langston would do. Get well soon, Biggie. And we saw a superplex followed by an execution for a 2 count. We would also see a super white noise followed by a Celtic cross known formerly as Damian Priest would do it as the Rager's Edge. That got a 2 count. Then we would see 10 beats of the drum done successfully. But after the middle finger was given, the Stone Cold finger, Sheamus went for another 20 this time. Then we saw a bro knee and a bro kick, a 2 count. And it took not one, but 2 spears to put Sheamus down for the 3 count. The crowd was happy to see Edge win the match, and Edge and Sheamus hugged it out. Beth Phoenix was in tears most of the match. Very concerned because the match had her on the edge of the seat, which it had me on the edge of my seat also. But nonetheless, this match was awesome. And come October the 30th, if I do an Edge, my top 10 Edge matches, part 3, that's going to be at the top of the list. And of course, that is match of the year caliber if I do that as well, because that's just an awesome match. And that would be one of the top matches of SmackDown and one of the top matches of 2023. But let me know in the comment section what you thought about this episode of Friday Night SmackDown and this review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this review also. I'm your host, Ian Cody, and that's all the time I have for you today. And I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. And also, this weekend, we have my top 10 for the Velveteen Dream, as well as Walter, a.k.a. Gunter, this Sunday. But the Velveteen Dream is tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But until next time, see you next time for another review on all things wrestling. Peace out, folks.